So hello everyone, good evening po. So this is the second part of our discussion unpacking the self. So previously we discussed about the physical self, right? We should love our self, body positivity. Today, our topic is all about sexual self. So it's about sexuality. So the following discussions will be sensitive to some people, so please bear with the topic. This is a very interesting one. So the contents of our discussion for tonight is the biological self. What are the differences between a male and a female um, biological self? What is sexual identity? What is gender orientation? And what are the consequences of sexual choices? So first one, let us distinguish the difference between the biological features of male and female. So we've already discussed this, or we've learned this when we were in elementary days, right? So this is just a simple review. So on your left side is your male reproductive system. So yan po yung reproductive system ng mga lalaki. And sa right naman po is the reproductive system or the biological features of female. Reproductive biological features. So sa male, we all know that they have this, they have penis, testes, scrotum, and many other parts of their male reproductive system. Sa babae naman, we have the vagina, the cervix, the fallopian tubes, the ovaries, and the uterus. So those are the differences between reproductive system of male and reproductive system of female. So alam na po natin yan. Diba? So yan yung isa sa mga pagkakaiba ng lalaki at babae in terms of reproductive system. So kapag ikaw ay may vagina, may uterus, may fallopian tube, may cervix, ikaw ay isang female, di ba? That is your sexuality. When you have penis, testes, scrotum, what else? And other things, other organs, I should say, you are your sex is male. So, yan po yung difference in sexuality. So, these two, the reproductive organs, are called the primary sex characteristics. Bakit tinawag na primary sex characteristics ang reproductive system? Because they are present at birth and compromise the external and internal genitalia. So, ang primary sex characteristics natin ay ang mula pinanganak tayo, nandito na sa loob natin at nakikita na sa labas. So, primary nga po, di ba? Nauna. Then, nagkakaroon tayo ng secondary sex characteristics. Ano naman yun? Secondary. So, the secondary sex characteristics happen during puberty. So kapag nagkaroon na po ng nasa adolescence period na ang isang tao, nagkakaroon na ng pag-iiba sa katawan. So from the primary sex characteristics na meron tayong vagina, uterus, fallopian tube, what else? Ovary, nagkakaroon ng changes na sa katawan natin. So, ang changes ay tinatawag na secondary. Sa male naman, ito ang changes sa kanilang secondary sex characteristics. So, nagkakaroon sila ng enlarged Adam's apple. Nagkakaroon sila ng facial hair, broad shoulders, increase in body hair, pubic hair, mature genital organs, and more muscular body. So that is the changes of male during puberty, adolescence period. Sa female naman, ang changes ay nagkakaroon ng matured breast, lumalaki ang boobs. Nagkakaroon ng broader hips, lumalaki ang balakang. Nagkakaroon din ng pubic hair and nagkakaroon ng menstruation, di ba? So this happens, the secondary sex characteristics happens during puberty because of hormones. So nagkakaroon ng pag-iiba ng ating katawan because of the hormones. So there are two main hormones responsible for the changes in our secondary sex characteristics sa ating katawan. So, sa babae, it is called estrogen. Sa lalaki naman, it is called testosterone. So, the hormone estrogen is responsible in the growing of breast, pubic hair grows, wide hips, and many other things. Sa boses din, di ba? Nag-iiba na yung boses. Nagiging soft na sa girls or sa female. Sa male naman, because of testosterone, bumababa yung boses nila. So, I don't know with my voice. Maybe testosterone ang meron sa akin. Mababa yung boses ko. So, sa male naman, ang kanilang testosterone dominantly ay ang kanilang hormones ay dominantly testosterone, which is responsible in body hair growth, voice breaks or yung pagbaba ng boses nila during puberty, kaya pumipiyok yung mga binata kasi nagkakaroon ng changes sa voices, di ba? And they have muscular growth. Mas nagiging lumalaki yung muscles nila. So, we all know, yung mga gay, di ba? So, yung mga gay, kaya mas nagiging female feature sila, mas nagiging babae sila because they take hormones, estrogen hormones and phenokino, something like that. There's a certain pill, di ba? Kaya yung mga bakla minsan, they enhance their body through taking hormones, hormonal pills to be more female-like, di ba? So, the hormones are responsible in the changes in our body. So, there's also this medical condition called PCOS, the polycystic ovarian syndrome. So, sa body kasi, kapag may ganun ka, you have more testosterone in your body. That's why you sometimes have the features of having body hair, mustache, or wala ka ng period, ganun. So, those are the symptoms naman sa PCOS, which is associated with testosterone. Yan. So, dahil nag-iiba ng ating katawan during puberty and adolescence, di ba? Nagkakaroon ng tayo ng sexual urge. When physiological changes are triggered within the adolescent's reproductive system, he or she is likely to experience sexual urge, become more sensitive to sexual stimuli, and feel sexual arousal. So because nag-iiba na nga yung ating katawan during puberty and adolescence, nagkakaroon na din ng pag-iiba ng ating pag-iisip, ng ating emotions. Kaya, mas nagkakaroon ng sexual urge and sexual arousal. So, dahil doon, nagkakaroon ng boyfriend-girlfriend ng mga teenage, right? So they develop during puberty, they develop relationships. So because they have this relationship with someone emotionally, they will, because some people can control their urge to do the sexual thing or activity, they do sex, di ba? Kaya madaming kabataan ngayon ang into sex because of their hormones. They can't control the sexual urge associated with the hormones that they are developing. So, ayan. Pero kapag single ka naman and you're single but you have the sexual urge, the sexual arousal, you rely on pornography, Pornhub, or you watch pornographic materials, diba? Or some people do it to themselves, something like that. So these things um, are associated with our hormones. So is it normal? Yes, because it's part of our growing. It is part of the nature of a human person. To watch porn? No. The sexual urge or the sexual arousal. Kasi it is associated nga with the development of the reproductive system, associated with the hormones, hormonal growth sa ating katawan. A person should be aware of his or her sexuality and sexual attributes in order to make responsible decisions. Adolescents need to realize the importance of having informed choices. So because of their sexual urge, their uncontrolled sexual urge, some teenagers or in the adolescence period, they do the activity, the sexual activity, yet they don't have the enough knowledge about the risk of doing it. That's why some female nabubuntis kasi nga they are not well informed about the things that are associated with the activity that they are doing. Kaya madaming mga teenage pregnancy, di ba? So associated pa rin sa ating sexuality. So on the right photo, it is about contraceptives. That's why the government is urging the country to be open to the idea of contraceptives para maiwasan yung pagdami ng mga teenage pregnancy. They are having the uncontrolled urge to do the sexual activity. So, ayan. Sexual identity and gender orientation. Ano naman ang pagkakaiba ng sexual identity and gender orientation? So, dahil nagkaroon na ng development sa hormones natin, nagkakaroon na din ng changes sa ating psychological and physiological. So, makikita natin. So, biologically, our sex, so let us differentiate sex and gender. The sex that we call sometimes refer to the activity, sex. But when you are filling a form, what is your sex? The sex refers to your biological sex. If you are a female or a male, okay? So sa mga form, ang tinatanong is lalaki ka ba or babae? Male or female? M or F? So sex means male or female. One's assignment upon birth is dependent on physical feature. So ang sex ay about female and male. Ang gender naman ay is an identity that is learned and embraced by individuals. So, ang gender is a choice. It is your choice. That's why it's called gender orientation. So, there are a lot of existing genders right now. So, let us first, so the first one is the male, female, hetero, transgender, gay, lesbian, bisexual, um, gay, asexual, yeah, transgender, and lesbian. So, we all know male and female, diba? Then, I don't really know what hetero and, yeah, I don't know hetero. Ang transgender is yung the reassignment of, iniba niya yung kanyang biological sex. Yung nagpa-sex change siya. Those are transgender. Correct me if I'm not mistaken. Okay? So, ang gay naman po is male with a female heart. Ang lesbian naman is, or ang gay is male to male. Ang lesbian is female to female. Ang attraction, I should say. Ang bisexual ay na-attract siya sa both male and female. So, ang gay ay na-attract siya sa male and male. Lesbian is female to female. And transgender is either male or female. Yeah. Asexual is never siya na-attract. Wala siyang attraction. Wala siyang preferred mate. Yeah. So, right now in our society, we have this LGBTQ+ to recognize the different genders in our society. So, may meaning po yung LGBTQ+. So, let us proceed to gender roles. So, dominantly, kahit nung ancient time, the society recognized the different gender roles. So, primarily, naglagay sila ng task for female and male. So, ano yung mga yun? So, before, they believed in traditional gender stereotype. Yung generalize nila na ang babae ay ganito at ang lalaki ay ganito. So, what are those feminine gender stereotypes? So, they believed before that female or the feminine side are not aggressive. Hindi daw aggressive ang mga babae. So, shy lang, timid lang. And they also believe that female are dependent. So, dependent meaning nakasandal tayo sa lalaki. Female also, they stereotype easily influenced. Madali daw tayo maloko. Submissive. Submissive meaning sumusunod tayo. Passive. Passive is shy lang. Home-oriented. So, nasa bahay lang daw ang feminine. These are gender stereotypes, ha? Then, female are easily hurt emotionally. Indecisive. So, kapag nagde-decision daw ang babae, we need the approval of male. Talkative. Gentle. Sensitive to others' feelings. So, sensitive daw tayo. Very desirous of security. So, we crave for security. Parang, protect me. Ganon. Cries a lot. Emotional. Verbal. Kind. Tactful, and nurturing. So, these are the stereotypes for female. Yung kapag sinabing babae, ito ang pumapasok. Ganon. Sa isipan ng mga tao. Ano naman ang kanilang stereotypes for female or for male? Masculine, aggressive, independent, not easily influenced, dominant, active, worldly, not easily hurt emotionally, decisive, not all talkative, tough, less sensitive to others' feelings, not very desirous of security, rarely cries, logical, analytical, cruel, blunt, not nurturing. So, as you can see, in the masculine side, it is always the plus side, diba? So, before, these are the, kapag lalaki ka, na sinabi nila, dapat matapang ka, hindi ka masyadong nagsasalita, independent ka, yung you know what you are doing, something like that. So these are the gender stereotypes noon. But then, nauso ang equality. Nauso ang feminism na kaya ng babae or kayang gawin din ng babae ang ginagawa ng lalaki. That's why the world is changing, as they say. So, ayan. Dahil dyan, nagkaroon ng changes sa society natin. Hindi na lang mga male ang boss ngayon, kundi according to studies, mas madami na daw boss na female. Mas madami na daw mga leaders na female. So as you can see in New Zealand, right? Ang kanilang leader ay isang babae. They stopped COVID. So true. Mabuhay ang mga babae. Dito sa Pilipinas, yun, matira matibay. So ayan. So tapos na po tayo sa gender roles. Pupunta naman na tayo sa the consequences of sexual choices. So let's continue about sex. So, because of the hormones that are developing in our body, we have the sexual urge to do the sexual activity, right? So, kapag ginawa mo ang sexual activity or the sex, ano ang maaaring consequences? The first main or the basic, the most common, or wait lang. Okay. Before, let us erase that. Before, we only know that sexual intercourse, or they call it copulation, is done by male and female. But because of the existing different gender orientations, nagkaroon na ng iba't ibang sexual intercourses. It can be done by female and female. It can be done by male and male. It can be done by male and female. And sometimes, it can be done by group. So, ayan. So, that is sexual intercourse. Or they also call it copulation. So, kapag naiilang ka na sabihin mo na sexual intercourse, copulation. So, because, may I continue? Because of the hormones that are developing in our body, and right now, in our age, it is in our self na, we have the urge to do the sexual intercourse or the copulation. And because we do that, there are consequences associated with sexual intercourse, especially to unprotected sex. So let us see what are the consequences of unprotected sex. So the most common result of unprotected sex is having a baby. That's why there are a lot of teenagers that are actually having a baby in their early age, di ba? Hindi ko yung naranasan. Pero, we don't judge, di ba? Because it is associated with the hormones kasi. And the society, because wala tayong program for sex education. So, may kasalanan din ang society about that. Because here in the Philippines, di ba, we are tagged as conservative people or conservative society. That's why a lot of people are against the RH bill, the reproductive health bill, or it is a law now. Against sila kasi they say that hindi siya good for society. That's why teenagers are not well educated about how to protect themselves during these times. So this is the basic, the most common result of unprotected sex. So what else? Commonly din, nagkakaroon ng sexual transmitted diseases because of unprotected sex. Especially that there are a lot of partners in sexual intercourse, di ba? So, iba-iba kasi. So, pwedeng yung boyfriend mo ngayon, iba yung kasama niya kagabi, ikaw ang kasama ngayon, you can have sexually transmitted disease if they did that unprotectedly. So, the first sexually transmitted disease is syphilis. Syphilis is a bacterial infection usually spread by sexual contact. The disease starts as a painless sore, typically on your genital, rectum, or mouth. So the following pictures are sensitive. You may close your eyes. You may open your eyes. So this is syphilis. So pwede siyang singaw, I guess. So kapag nagkasingaw po kayo, magpa-check up po kayo agad. Okay? O kaya pwede ding something sa likod. Ito, sa reproductive male, yan. Para siyang, hindi ko alam. So, kayo na po. So, let us see. So, dito naman sa mouth, maybe this is done by oral sex because nasa mouth siya. Para siyang singaw, pero hindi. So, that is syphilis. The next sexually transmitted disease is the gonorrhea. Gonorrhea is an infection caused by a sexually transmitted bacterium that infects both males and females. Gonorrhea most often affects the urethra, rectum, or tongue. In females, gonorrhea can also infect the cervix. Gonorrhea is most commonly spread during vaginal, oral, or anal sex. So, kapag palipat-lipat ka, nangyayari ang gonorrhea. So, ang gonorrhea sa Filipino ay tulo. So, ayan, tulo po siya. So, kapag may tulo, that is STD, sexually transmitted disease. Next one, chlamydia. Chlamydia. Chlamydia is a sexually transmitted infection caused by a bacteria called Chlamydia trachomatis. Usually, it doesn't cause any symptoms and can be easily treated with antibiotics. However, if it isn't treated early, it can spread to other parts of your body and lead to long-term health problems. So, naririnig ko ang chlamydia sa mga US movies. So, according to to my readings, Makati siya. So, kapag nangangati, baka chlamydia na yan. So, this is a photo also to represent chlamydia. Oh. Also, in female, chlamydia is vaginal discharge, yung symptoms niya. Vaginal discharge, burning or pain while urinating, lower abdominal pain, nausea, fever, pain during intercourse, bleeding between periods, dumudugo naman tuwing nagpi-period ka. In male naman or in men, penis discharge. So may lumalabas. Burning or painful while urinating, burning or itching in opening of penis. So pag nangangati. Testicular pain, swelling of the testicles. So kapag masakit yung itlog. Ganun. Another sexually transmitted disease or sexually transmitted infection is the genital warts. So genital warts are soft growths that appears on the genitals. They can cause pain, discomfort, and itching. So ang genital warts is para siyang riting, ganun, sa Ilocano. So, sensitibo po ang mga larawan, paalala. So, ayan. So, ganito po ang genital warts. So, these are causes, or these are the effects, I guess. These are the effects of unprotected sex. So use condom. The most alarming sexually transmitted disease is the acquired immune deficiency syndrome, or the AIDS, caused by the human immunodeficiency virus. So ang AIDS po ang pinakamalala sa sexually transmitted diseases because it affects your immunity. It can be transmitted by contact between broken skin, wounds, or mucous membranes and HIV-infected blood or blood-contaminated bloody fluids. So, na-transmit po ang AIDS sa skin wounds, mucous membranes, yung mga tubig-tubig, yung laway, ganun. Pwedeng dugo. So, nakakamatay ang AIDS. That's why it is the worst. It affects your immunity, yung immunity. So, main symptoms of AIDS. It can affect your brain, your eyes, your lungs, your skin, and your intestines. It is a slow process actually. So kapag may AIDS ka, hindi na siya nagagamot. Nandiyan na yan. Then you are slowly nangihina ng katawan, then nagkakaroon ka ng iba't ibang sakit. So I know someone who had AIDS. Namatay siya because of meningitis. Meningitis is nagkaroon ng something sa brain niya, tsaka namatay na siya. If you have these different symptoms or in your body, please consult your doctor to prevent further effect in your body and to not to transmit the disease to other people. And always remember, if you are doing it outside marriage, or if you are in a marriage and you're not loyal to your husband or to your wife, use protection. Diba? So that is our topic for sexual self. It's about the sexuality of ourself. So, responsible sexual behavior entails the following. So, paano ba maging isang responsableng tao with our sexual urge and sexual arousals? Respect for one's body. Respect for maturity in thoughts and in deeds. Being guided by one's personal beliefs and core values. Being future-oriented. So, respect for one's body. So, if you have a partner, you should be loyal to your partner and as a respect to yourself and to your partner. If you don't have any partner, you can wait for the right partner or for the right time for marriage to do that as a respect to your body. Respect for maturity in thoughts and in deeds. So kapag you can stop the urge to do that, as a mature person, you need to protect yourself and the person that you are going to do it by using protection. That is maturity. Diba? So being guided by one's personal beliefs and core values. So let's rely on being morally dependent person if you can do that. Alam mong mali, huwag mong gagawin. Kung hindi mo mapigilan, you protect yourself. So you can rely on beliefs and core values. And being future-oriented. So this applies to adolescent people kasi they're still in their early age and they need to be future-oriented, diba? There are a lot of teenagers kasi that they don't think about the future. Kung ano yung naisip nilang gawin ngayon, they do that and boom, baby. Like that. So being future-oriented is really important. So ayan, that is our topic for today. I hope you understand our topic for today.